welcome to this short video. It's going to be a 10-minute video that will hopefully help you loosen up your lower back. Had a few people talking about that. Maybe it's the cold, maybe it's the snow shoveling, who knows. But either way, hopefully this quick 10-minute video will help loosen up your hips, loosen up the lower spine, the spine in general, and give you some relief from that. So we'll get started right away. So most of it's going to be standing, therefore if anybody has difficulties getting up or down, they don't have to worry about that. So we're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. So facing forward, it's going to look like this. And you can actually widen your feet a little bit. Your feet are roughly underneath of your hips, okay? Whatever's comfortable for you in terms of distance with your feet, okay? And slightly bending the knees, right? So we're going to bend the knees so that the knees bend in line with the toes, right? So my knees aren't wonky out to the side either way. They're in line with the toes. Hands on the hips. We're going to just do cat and cows standing up. So it's extending the spine by opening the chest, tilting the pelvis forward, and then tilting the pelvis back, letting the spine round, and you let your head come down. So it looks like this, inhaling as you open, hands on your hips. This is my timer, by the way, so I just want you to know that's what I'm doing. And then as you exhale, you're going to round, let the head drop. So inhale, opening. Exhale, rounding. These are our standing cat and cows. Anybody who's ever taken a yoga class, we often do them in the beginning to warm up. They're done sometimes on our hands and knees, but just know that at any time in any class, if you have difficulty getting up and down off the ground, you could always do them standing up. And of course, if we can sync up our breath, that's even better. Inhaling as you open, exhaling as you round. And then we'll stop here. I like to rotate my ankles when I come out, shaking out the wrists, maybe roll the shoulders in one direction and the other. I just like to loosen everything up a little bit before we go into the second move, which is moving the hips from side to side. So you're coming into a similar stance that we just did, bent knees slightly, hands on the hips, and all you're going to do is shift your hips from side to side, right? So the knees stay in line where they are. It's just the pelvis tilting in one direction than the other. It actually looks like you're shrinking one side, opening the other, and then alternating. So hips side to side, just like this, inhaling and exhaling. And most of what we do is done slowly. Slowly is often more challenging and asks for the recruitment of other muscles more than just one muscle quickly. It's more integrative of your other muscles. So side to side a few more times. And then come to stillness. Same thing. I like to take a second to just shake everything out before we move to the next one, which is the same exact stance, right? We're not changing the stance, but this time we're going to rotate the pelvis around. So it's going to go forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side. And just keep moving like that in one direction, slowly. You might notice one side's easier to move than the other. It's completely normal. And remember the direction you're going, because you're going to go the other way next time around. If you want to smooth that circle out, you can too. You don't have to make those hard stops. Get your dancing hips moving. And come to stillness, shaking that out. And now we go back to the beginning. Same thing, standing, tilting forward, inhale, tilting back, exhale. Inhaling, opening, and exhale. Inhale, open, Exhale, round. Continuing just like that. Last one. And we can go right into our hip sides to side, right? So side, side. Just like we did on the first side, first time, first round. Last thing, rotating the hips in the opposite direction. So I'm going to go to the left, forward, left, back, right. So like I said, just remembering which side you did, doing the opposite, and when you're ready to smooth out the edges, no one's looking at you, maybe, hopefully not, maybe a pet, but you know, maybe you're doing this by yourself, so no one's really judging your hip rolls. I'm not, I can't see you, so just roll them out slow. And then come to stillness, shake everything out, and we're going to have a chair. Everyone take a seat. Feet flat on the floor, sitting up, right? So if you notice, I'm not sitting rounded. I'm also not sitting super arched. So somewhere in between, we're going to open the arms up, inhaling. And on the exhale, arms are going to cross right over left. Give yourself a hug. Same thing we did with the spine, the upper spine. Lifting, arching, inhale. And then on your exhale, coming down. Inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding. Inhaling, opening. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Keeping that right arm over the left. Just going to twist from side to side. So now your elbows might not meet each other this way. Your hug may look something like this. That's okay, right? So whatever your hug looks like, your hug looks like. And when you rock side to side, you could let your head go with you. Twisting side to side. Don't unravel your arms just because I'm fixing my clock. And coming to stillness. Shaking everything out again. Ooh, adjustment of the neck. Awesome. Opening the arms, inhale. Exhale, left over right. And same thing, opening the chest, inhale. Exhale, round. And continuing just like that. Last one, and now we'll twist side to side with the left arm over. Don't uncross your arms. I'm just resetting my clock. coming back to center. Everybody shaking everything out. So, I would recommend a stool or the edge of a bed or something to serve as a place for your hands to go in this next one. Just going to sit at the edge of a chair. We're going to mimic a lunge, right? So this is all geared towards me not making the assumption that people can get up and down with ease, right? So your left side, your left leg is going to go forward, your right leg is going to go back, right? And we're going to take so this is as if you were taking a lunge without having to hold it up yourself, without having your hands down, without your left side being held up by the chair. You can stay here with the hands on your hips if you're feeling enough here, or you can lift the arms up. And just breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. And the chair, the stool in front of me isn't doing anything just yet. It's for the next part. And hands come down to the stool now, which might enable you to extend this leg out more, right? So that's the next 30 seconds we'll be resting here. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And your leg might not be like a nice one. It might be more bent. That's fine. And then to come back up, bend the knee, maybe bring the foot in. And we'll do that again. So lifting the arms up. Reaching the hands to the sky. Inhaling and exhaling here. And then hands come down, leg goes out. Again, this could be the edge of a bed, this could be a coffee table, some type of stable surface you can lean on. Extend the leg out. Coming out. So you might turn the chair around, right? If this was a coffee table, you're obviously not going to pick up the coffee table and move it. So you might move the chair so that you can now switch sides. So my right leg is in front, my left knee is bent. And I'm going to set the timer, right? So thinking knee roughly underneath the left hip. If you want, you can reach the hands to the sky, or you can keep them on your hip. If you feel better about keeping them down, more stable, you don't have to lift your hands up. It's a total option. Hands come down, extending that left leg out, nice and long line of energy, leaning forward. Breathing here. Bending the back knee, lifting the arms up. We repeat one more time. Inhaling and exhaling. And then hands come down. extending the bottom leg out any amount. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. So there's no holding our breath. No matter how you might be feeling, because I've been sore and wanted to hold my breath, it's best to keep it moving. All right, and bending the knee and coming up. Roll the shoulders out, roll the ankles, shaking everything out. And the last thing we'll do, just to sort of neutralize ourselves, neutralize our spine. It's going to be held for about a minute. I'm going to move the cute little candle. It's a modified halfway fold. So you're standing in front of the chair, and you can use a wall for this too. Bending the knees, placing your hands on the chair, and your feet are about hip distance. If you need to do it wider, that's fine. And now you can stay here, right? So you see my knees are roughly underneath my hips. My knees are not super straight. This does not need to happen. Matter of fact, if this is happening, it's probably more integritous to keep the knees slightly bent and the hips more in line with the ankles. Right, so I'm sitting up, letting the crown of the head reach forward so that there's just a long line of energy in my spine, right? So that's, the focus is on the spine, not on the legs, not on the lower body. It's really about elongating the spine. It's the elongation of the spine that helps separate the discs, create space. You're breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And we're also not letting the head drop too, so a common thing I see is like, so we're not arching the neck, we're also not dropping it. It's in between. And then to come out, you can walk your feet closer, lift up, shake it out. And then we'll do one more of those. And then you could be on your merry way. So, widening the feet, bending the knees, hands down, walking the feet out. And relaxing here. Thinking, remember, this spine can go one way or the other, but what we'd like it to do is elongate. Right? So when we're doing our cat and cows, we're doing this, but for the half lift, it's called axial extension, not that you need to know that, but it's the spine, the crown of the head moving away from the sacrum so that it's like pulling apart a slinky. Gently inhaling and exhaling, not too forcefully, not 100%. You're more like a 50% effort, maybe even less. And then walking your feet in, bend the knees, come up super nice. You are done. So thanks for watching. I appreciate feedback. So if, in an hour after you do this, you're like, whoa, my back really does feel good, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe you sleep well tonight, I want to hear it, all right? And if you need help with any of the moves, well, what do I do if this happens? You can email me that too. Namaste.